China has done it again. They only needed 34.5 grams to build a device that's going to shake the foundations of smartwatches. It's called the Huawei Watch GT Runner 2, and not only is it featherweight with a sleek body, but it's also a real tank. It doesn't matter if it's sand or snow, icy water or rain. In this video, I'm going to put it through tough tests in extreme environments, because it's definitely important to see just how much it can withstand. A watch designed to offer the best and most precise positioning in the industry. To go with you to the ends of the earth, whether you're running, swimming, diving, or playing golf. But what is it that makes the Huawei Watch GT Runner 2 so different? And why is it a step forward in the professional smartwatch industry? First of all, you're already seeing the unboxing, and it feels absolutely luxurious, just like the watch. What's inside? If I had to highlight one feature of this watch after testing it for a few days, it would definitely be its positioning. It does it really well, as you'll see later. And by the way, here you can see that it includes, besides a very, very breathable strap, this one that's a bit more elegant. I actually like that they include both straps in the same package. There you have the papers, warranties, etc. And here is the charger. Aluminum charger. It feels sturdy. The cable is also quite thick. And when it attaches to the magnetic surface, it does it very well. There's no risk of it moving. And now, here is the Huawei Watch GT Runner 2. The first impression it gives is that we're looking at a luxury watch. It's one of those watches you can easily wear for sports, but also, for example, to go out, or even to a slightly more formal meeting, especially if you're wearing the other strap. It's very versatile, and you can already see the design. It's built with aerospace-grade titanium. It features second-generation Coulomb glass. It's ultra-resistant, as you'll see in this video. Also, check out this blue woven air-dry strap. There are more colors for this watch, not just blue, but you can already see the grooves on this strap. It's 25% more breathable than the previous generations. And honestly, for summer or for sports where you sweat a lot, it's an absolute blessing. It's very easy to remove the straps, as you can see with that small metal button. And here are all the sensors. It's amazing. It has a speaker, which you'll hear later. That's incredible. For being so small, it sounds so powerful. 2 microphones. And here is this crown on the titanium frame. The movement is really good, not just when you turn it, but also when you press it. It feels really nice. It feels top-notch. And the materials help achieve that feeling. By the way, this frame has a trick. Let me explain. It's actually very cleverly designed. And to achieve the most precise positioning on the market, Huawei has added a floating 3D antenna. That blue bezel you see is a dielectric bezel, and it's used to improve that signal. In fact, if we compare it to the previous version, it's 3.5 times more accurate. And the second button, by the way, also has a good travel, just like the rotating one. So, top-notch design. It feels like it's going to last a lifetime. And now, let's get to the part I like the most. And that's putting it to the test. I've been lucky enough to try it out in very different places, where it was hot, where it was very cold, in snow, in sand. And I can tell you in advance that it has handled everything like an absolute champ. And this watch isn't just designed for casual runners, but also for professionals who run marathons. So, if you're one of those who are going to be exposed to all the elements of nature, you shouldn't miss what's coming next. You already know that some devices don't pay attention to the small details, which are the important ones. For example, when you expose them to extreme climates, too cold, too hot, a warning usually pops up, and the device itself usually shuts down for safety. Well, this has never happened to me with the Huawei GT Runner 2, and I want to emphasize the point about the details, because I think it's important. Take a look at this. The river was freezing. In fact, you can see my hands. They're really red. Even so, look at the screen. It's unaffected. The panel looks as if it were dry, and it responds perfectly. It doesn't matter if it's cold. It doesn't matter if it's wet. Therefore, it doesn't matter if it's sweat or rain. No matter what, this Huawei Watch GT Runner 2 withstands absolutely everything with total professionalism. Also, Check out this sensor that turns off the screen for safety when submerged in water. It's very precise and effective. Don't worry, because even if it gets wet, the speaker can be heard right away. In fact, notice that it can be drained and it would make this sound. With that infrasound and this warning that you need to tilt the watch sideways to help expel the water, the speaker will be heard perfectly well again in no time. And it's these small details of resistance, despite the humidity, despite the cold, despite the heat, that make a watch truly professional. Dual band satellite positioning, GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, Beidou, etc. But top-level hardware is nothing without software to match. And what is the software like on this Huawei Watch GT Runner 2? Well, in terms of interface, it reminds me a lot of the Huawei Watch GT 6 Pro, which I also reviewed on this channel. The truth is, it's extremely comprehensive. They've also improved the golf options. You'll see later, as it now shows you how to hold the club correctly. And when it comes to the interface, Huawei was already a benchmark. But with this new smartwatch, Huawei has taken it up a notch. You have every sport imaginable. It works perfectly on iOS. It works perfectly on Android. Yoga, dance, Tai Chi, and even though it's more focused on runners, marathons, and so on, the truth is that it's quite versatile. It doesn't matter what sport you practice. Also, through the app, you can record everything you do, you can share it, and the range of possibilities it offers you is really wide. Besides, the learning curve when it comes to knowing how to use it isn't too steep, so even if you're new to this, it's very easy to get the hang of this watch. And something that's also definitely surprising about this smartwatch is its speaker. Even though it's such a small device, listen to how this Huawei sounds. But whoever buys this watch does so without a doubt because of its incredible positioning accuracy. And it actually has independent maps which can even be downloaded without any problem. Here it's actually starting a hike up a mountain. That is, it's being used for hiking. And look at the real-time map, how the little blue arrow directly shows the path. And notice the accuracy. Not only is the GPS position good, but also the compass itself. Honestly, it shows the signal perfectly well. It's probably the most accurate watch I've ever tested in the history of this channel. Also, notice how the messages arrive with absolute precision relative to the phone. They come in at the same time, whether it's iOS or Android. It receives notifications with a very strong vibration as well. That's another highlight of this watch. The vibration motor feels strong. And as a curiosity, you're already seeing an interactive golf guide. Also, there are certain rewards. You can see it. If you reach certain steps or stand up, for example, during the hours you've set, the smartwatch itself celebrates it with a notification. And right now, after finishing the exercise, that is, after doing the short hiking route, you're seeing all this information that appears when you finish the activity you've chosen. And the information at this point is really complete. You can see it for yourselves. Also, when it comes to health, it's truly top-notch. You're already seeing absolutely everything that can be measured by this watch. A few years ago, this was unthinkable. To have this monitor of all vital signs in a device as small as this, and on top of that, it does everything very well. You're seeing aerobic stress, anaerobic stress, the recovery you need to do. Plus, it guides you step by step. All of this can be tracked in the app, giving you a complete record of your activities, sports, and more. Therefore, it's not just for athletes, not just for people who want a durable or stylish watch, but also for those who are interested in having a complete and thorough tracking of their health. You'll be able to make payments with this smartwatch without any problem. In addition, you can create personalized scientific training plans based on running plans and goals. Once again, if you like running, this is your smartwatch. In addition, it features the first running power metric on a Huawei watch. And also, if you like diving, it's resistant up to 40 meters. And you can already see the app. I like that the box itself comes with a QR code. If you scan it with your smartphone, whether it's iOS or Android, you go straight to the app and you can already see how complete it is. You can record absolutely everything, like for example this metric here. As for arterial stiffness detection, luckily it's normal. And not just health parameters, but also customization options. For example, the wallpaper, the watch face, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of watch faces. And if you don't like them, you can create your own watch face quite easily, as you can see. However, when it comes to loading the images, it's pretty slow. It's an endemic issue with all smartwatches. As for the battery, it's 540 mAh. It lasts around 14 days, and you can do, for example, 5 marathons. That is 32 hours straight without any problem. The battery obviously will depend on several factors, like the screen brightness level if you have it connected. However, since it has a high silicon content, it withstands temperatures better, as I was telling you. But I guess that since it's so thin and so light, they had to cut back somewhere, and it was precisely the battery. And maybe that's its biggest downside. Although I guess that's the price you pay for a smartwatch as light and thin as this one. And now let's talk about the price of this Huawei Watch GT Runner 2. And its price will be 399 euros. I'll leave the link below in the video description. Without a doubt, this Huawei with a case diameter of 43.5 millimeter is perfectly suitable for both men and women. And it has a great AMOLED display. It has pleasantly surprised me. It feels absolutely professional in every aspect. Also, it comes with very mature software. It's a watch that really appeals to those who like to run, who enjoy marathons, triathlons, and so on. And as you've seen throughout this video, it can withstand absolutely anything. Therefore, it doesn't matter where you like to work out. This Huawei will handle it without any problem. Plus, it's lightweight and has a very slim design. And above all, with a positioning accuracy that has made history. And with that said, subscribe if you haven't already. And leave me a like so I can keep connecting the most beautiful and extreme nature with the most innovative technology. And if you're a lover of technology and nature, you're on the right channel. If you have any questions, leave them for me down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and see you soon.